Well, good morning, evening, afternoon, evening, and night to all our passengers. Welcome aboard Sammyairlines Flight 661, tour of the sunspot. If you're there, you can see it on the screen right now. Here is the sunspot right there, and I had this set up because I needed to make sure everything was working before I started streaming, and then I started streaming before I wanted to. But this is where we are. Let's go ahead and magnify that a little bit. We'll see if we can see that a little better. Oh, that's the wrong way. So there we go. And it looks like I could do a little bit of focusing here. So let's try and bring the focus control up. I use two programs. APT doesn't do well with live streaming, so I'm using the Altair capture program that came with the Altair camera that we're using. And let's take a step. Let's try 10 here, and we'll go one way and see what happens. Well, that looked like maybe a little better. Of course, you're going to have to put up with my eyes and my slow reflexes here. Nope, that's getting worse. So let's go the other way. I was going to try and use the mono camera and use the H alpha filter on it, but I haven't played with that enough to be comfortable with it, so I think that's about the best we're going to get for focus on that. And that's magnified 200 times, 200%. And from what I understand, that sunspot came around the corner over here about a week ago, maybe a little less. But now we're going to come back and take some images of that so that we can stack it. But for right now, what I want to do is I want to go over and try and see if we can catch Mercury or Venus tonight or today. I can only catch Mercury and Mercury during the daytime at my house or my location because it never gets above the horizon. And let's see what we can do here. And we'll just click on that and we'll say slew to Mercury. And as the telescope moves and we focus in on Mercury, now hopefully that's going to be right in the... Oh wait, I've got the solar filter on. You guys hang on, right, and I'll be right back. And I've got to run out to the telescope and take the solar filter off. And somebody remind me to put it back on before I go back to the sun. This will take me probably about 2 minutes. And there, that gives you a little example of what the filter actually does to the filtering. That filter blocks out about 99% of the light. So we're going to go ahead and take the auto exposure off and turn the see what we can do here. No, I don't see it. And I just noticed that we'll not be able to get Venus because Venus is already into the trees. No, it doesn't look like we're going to get Venus. Oh, what's that? No, that's a... Yeah, Mercury looks like it's going to be a little tough, so we'll go back to the sun, and we'll call Mercury a bust for tonight, or for today. It is daytime. Right here, let's slew the telescope back to the sun. And hopefully we'll hit the auto exposure again. Well, with this program, I've been having a little problem with it, so let's go ahead and shut it down and bring it back up. Come on now. Oh shoot, I forgot to go. Oh man, I hope it didn't ruin anything. Boy, did I dodge a bullet on that one or what? So we got the sun back again, and let's bring the controller up and get her centered again. And there we go. And I hope you're enjoying your ride on Sammyairlines. We do have to do a shameless plug. We have to make money somehow. And I want to advertise our new crop dusting service and our new pest control service. You can view those on our website, sammyairlines.net. And you can go ahead and just browse the site. You can see the exotic places we fly to, look at our crop dusting service and our pest control service. that we have just recently started, and we're very proud of our service. We strive to do better than anybody else in the business. There we go. Now we're getting her in the right spot. Okay, so we're going to come up to options and set our preferences. In the auto capture, we want to give the thing a name, and so call it Sun 11. Today's the 8th, 20. And we're going to do that on the record also. I should have had this set up ahead of time, but I didn't, because I was so excited about serving you, our valued customers. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and just hit record, and let's see. Oh, did I choose a format for recording? Yeah, I did. And what we'll do is we'll take about a minute of each of these, and then we're going to use Registack and AutoStacker to, well, actually more AutoStacker to process them. Let's see. Trying to get where I can see the frame count. For some reason, PhD2 holds my taskbar up all the time. Okay, yeah, we're at frame 204. That's actually a fairly good size sunspot. I'm going to pull up some stuff on the internet here. Probably I'm not doing well. I'm not a multitasker, by the way. In fact, quite often I'm don't even single task very well. But this is it. Hope you enjoyed the view. Sorry we couldn't get Mercury, but last time I did Mercury, I was doing it with my DSLR out at the camera, or at the telescope, so I didn't forget to put the filter back on when I went to back to the sun. And I had to play around a lot with exposure to get it to appear. So I'm going to let this run for a while, and people can drop in and see it if they want, or they can not. And I'm going to mute my microphone so that you don't have to hear me snore. Yes.
Are you doing anything?
I'm streaming a video, but that's all right.
You're streaming?
Yeah, I think I am. Last I looked, I was.
Oh, okay.
What you need?
Are you going anywhere anytime soon?
Nah.
Okay.
Oh, how soon do you need help?
Just by the end of today.
Okay.
But my car is in front of your Yukon, and Heather wanted to do something today,
Okay.
so I wanted to make sure it was in your way. I'll let you stream.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
And let's go ahead and I'll magnify the sunspot a little bit so we can get a little better look at it. Sorry about that. Little echo there. There it is at 300%. Let's see, and we're at 400 frames, 370 frames. I'm going to take 500 and then I'll take another stack of 500. Yeah, I think that's actually about the best I'm going to get on the focus on it. If I had my other set of eyes in here, my other helper would probably be able to get it a little better, but not much. And I can see my polar line is not the best because, needless to say, it's kind of hard to polar align with the daytime. So we'll just keep going back and forth here a little bit. I actually don't know how fast that solar spot actually moves across the sun. But I've got about another 2 hours before it goes into the trees. So I'll just let it run for a while. Oh, and I see the cooling on the camera automatically kicked on. I wasn't going to cool it with the short exposures, but well, it's at -10. That's what I shoot everything at anyway, so. Okay, well. That green box is the auto exposure box. I'm going to try just taking a bunch of series of pictures. Like I say, then I can stack them together. And once again, I'll mention, don't ever look at the sun through binoculars or telescopes without special filtering, because you will hurt your eyes. And the damage that's done is permanent. Hey Amal, how you doing? Yeah, gonna get all the sunshine I can get before we head into our gray weather. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, it was down about 34 out here this last night. Actually, for polar aligning with my compass, I didn't do too bad. It's holding pretty good. You can see it moving a little bit, but like I say, I've got it magnified 200% now. Yeah, I wasn't outside them all. I don't know what it felt like. I was inside, just looked at the thermometer out on the roof. So I've got a weather station here that I monitor the weather with, and it was cold. Yeah, yeah, Maul, you know how they say in Arizona, they say it's the dry heat, so you don't feel it. Well, this is a wet cold here, so you feel it. I don't have the cool music that Chris at Imaging has. Yeah, he plays the cool music. All you get is my gravelly voice. Yeah, I wasn't sure it was going to clear up last night. It was still cloudy when I went to bed, and when I got up this morning, it was broken, but it was clearing up. So I'm glad I could. I wanted to get these sunspots. So. Normally our imaging at night, shooting 3, 4, 5, 6 minute exposures. Now we're at 3 milliseconds is what the exposure is on this. That's pretty quick. Yep, 3 milliseconds. Actually, if I wanted to be precise and awe you with my precision, it's 3.26 milliseconds. But fortunately, I have a computer that tells me that, so I don't have to look at it. Okay, I wasn't watching. We're up to almost, well, I will go ahead and go to 1,000 frames on this section. The frame rate's about 7 frames per second. No, 7/10 of a frame per second. That's why it's so slow. actually, I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with the alignment I got. Like I say, it was pretty much just a kick align. Took it out and aligned the north and south with a pretty cheap compass, and then leveled it, and that's all we got. So. Let's see, how did I hear about that? Space.com, somebody sent me a link from it that they had an article about the sunspot, and I think, I can't remember for sure, but it seems to me about a week ago they said it had just come around the edge, and this is how far it's traveled in about a week. If we get a few clear days, it'd be kind of fun to watch how far this moves, how fast. I went to the space.com site a minute or two ago, well, a little bit ago, to see if I could find anything about it, but they didn't have anything on the headlines, and I didn't want to spend too much time there because I tend to get sidetracked doing things. I had looked at the sun about I want to say about 3 weeks ago. I was playing around and there was nothing. It was just a big yellow ball, very unimpressive. And then when I heard about the sunspot, I thought, yeah, I have to get this one. I had bought a new telescope last year. My previous one was 120 millimeters, and the current one is 127 millimeters. And so my solar filter didn't fit. And so I made an adapter for it, and then was trying it out. Yeah, Nibiru. Yes. You can see it behind the sun there. If you look real hard at the sun, you can stare through it and see Nibiru. Yeah, when I first started tracking this, it was drifting pretty quick, but now it's holding pretty steady. Unless my the frame rates are still going up, so that means the camera's still got to be working. Yeah, I did 3D printed adapter. My daughter talked me into getting a new 3D printer, and we bought the Creality Ender. We had it a DaVinci Mini, which it was okay when we got it, but this Creality print's really nice. I was using Fusion 360 to design the adapter, and since I used it last, they changed the layout, and I get frustrated on stuff like that. Why change a layout just to be different? And actually, speaking of 3D printers, right after we got the printer, doesn't 2 have a public 3D printer? Oh, UW. I don't know. And that's about round trip. That's about 2.5 hours for me. But right after we got the printer, my daughter got a blurb on her astronomy Facebook page about open astro tracker. It's for astro tracker for a DSLR, and it's printed on a 3D printer. So we've been working on that. Hope to get that going in the next week or so. My son is taking care of the electronics on it for me. I mean, that's what I used to do for a living, but yeah, let the kid do it. Yeah. It's a ways down there. Okay, we're at 1,000. We'll stop it and do another 1,000. I don't know for sure how big a file Astro Stacker, excuse me. I don't know how big a file Astro Stacker will take, but I usually keep them around 1,000, and then I take the best 10% of them, and then take the best 10% of like 10% captures, so. No, I'm not kidding, Amal. That's what kids are for. Now, the grandkids, that's a different story. Grandkids are for spoiling. I think it's supposed to be pretty clear until about 11:30, 12 o'clock tonight, so I might even be able to get some imaging done tonight, as long as the moisture isn't too bad. The other night I was trying to get some, and the dew heaters could just barely keep up. And time for yeah, believe it or not, I let my first cup of the coffee of the day go cold. I'm just finishing it. So, time for another shameless plug for Sammyairlines. Our motto is, we'll get you there unless we don't. Just remember that our fares are negotiable, but not refundable. Once we have your money, it's ours. Time for we're still looking good for focus or for framing. Thanks, Amal. This is my Pegasus Power Box controller version 2. Gives me the temperature, it's 15.5 centigrade with a dew point of -5. So we're looking good for dew. And there's how temperatures actually dropped down a little bit since we started. But the dew point's holding. It even gives me a power graph. There's where it started. Cooler came on, cooled off. And these are mostly cooler. This flat current here would be the cooler. It's drawn about an amp, I think. Amp and a quarter. And these spikes here are the, I believe, are the mount giving control impulses. Because the camera cooler came on automatically, and it's cooled the camera down to -10 degrees. So it's let's come down here. I think we can, yeah. It's drawn about 30% power, which is 3 amps is full current on the cooler, and so we're drawing about an amp of current on the cooler. If I pull the box up here again on power, I don't know if you can see this right here, but it tells you what the average current is an amp. Right up here it'll show you right at 1.2 amps. When you have varying power loads, it's kind of hard to keep right up to date. Now it's a Peltier cooler. When you're doing long-term exposures, like Chris does, like I do at night. When you do the long-term cooling or exposures, you generate heat in the camera, which increases noise. So you cool the image sensor down to below a certain point to keep the noise as low as you can, and that way you don't have to worry about having to try to subtract the noise out of the image that you're processing. I don't know if Chris has talked much about cooling on his camera. I don't think I've heard him talk much about it, but yeah, it's to keep the imaging sensor cool to cut down on electrical noise. No, atmosphere is not cool enough. Not until it drops down to about -10 or so. Yeah, so that's why you cool them. Once the temperature starts dropping down, then the current draw on the cooler is less because it doesn't have to work as hard. And we'll bring this up just a bit. Oops, went too far, didn't I? I like the way the egg shapes the sun when it moves. Sure, I can zoom it in for you. There it is. That's zoomed in about 300%. Yeah, I turned the auto exposure off, and I didn't have it back in the right spot. Yeah, yeah, just about 5 of them. They're the that's auto exposed there, without me playing with the exposure. Yeah, yeah, the sun definitely would eat up 5 Nibiru's easily. I wish I could get that focus a little better, but I hate to play with it too much because I have a habit of making things worse. Easily, yeah, yeah. Those sunspots are just absolutely enormous. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Maybe even more. Yeah, I think the reason I can't get the focus any better is just atmospheric distortion. So hopefully when I stack the pictures, I can get a better image of it. Yeah, I don't know how many you can see on the screen there, but I count 6 spots, 6 distinct spots here in this row from here down to here. Maybe even 7. Ah, cool, cool. Yeah, the ones you can't spot are probably this one here and this one right here. They're pretty faint. There, that's at 400% of all. Maybe you can pick up one or two more of those sunspots now. Cool. You can see one more of them. Because of the atmospherics, there's a couple of them that move in and out. There's one here, one right about here, and one right about here that move in and out. Yeah, it's kind of like watching paint dry. Waiting for the frame count to get up to where I can recycle. Cool. Yeah, I can make out 7 of them. There's one here, one here, one here, one here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, one there, and one there. But they pop in and out because of the atmospheric distortion. And I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but you know, we here at Sammyairlines have to make a living, so here's another shameless plug. Got moles, got fleas, got ants, got gophers. We can take care of them for you. No pest too big, no pest too small. We eradicate them all. Sammyairlines Pest Control. I'll be over. When I first moved back into the house I grew up in, I went through and redid the lawn in it. And for about 2 weeks, I had the nicest lawn in the neighborhood. And then the moles said thank you. And it didn't take long to destroy that lawn. I didn't see that one. I haven't been too much of a movie watcher the last bunch of years. Uh, TV, yeah, I haven't watched too much TV in a lot of years. I don't know why, I just drifted away from it and do other things. Need to check the framing here, make sure we're still, yeah, still pretty good. playing around with the auto exposure. See if that'll bring them out any better. Yeah, actually, Amal, there's one right over here too that comes in and out. Oh. Yeah, it's pretty small and pretty faint. In fact, it's probably one of the faintest ones out of the whole group. But it does come in and out. And actually, there's another one right up here that comes in and out periodically too. Or else that's dirt on my screen that comes and goes. Probably let this go for about another 10 minutes or so of imaging, and then I think what I'll do is I'll run out and I'll put my H alpha filter on the camera and see if that does anything for us. It's a one-shot color camera, so I don't know if an H alpha will really do any good or not. Actually, the only one I've got in there now is my light pollution filter, which, since sun isn't really light pollution, it doesn't do any good. That's the one I leave on all the time because I need it most of the time when I'm imaging at night. So. But actually, I'd put the H alpha in my filter wheel, so I'd have to take it back out. That don't take long. While I'm sitting here boring you, I'll go ahead and take the H alpha filter out. And this will be a noble experiment. I was thinking about using the monocolor camera, but I don't have any experience with it yet, so I didn't want to try it, a new thing on something that I wanted to really get some pictures of, because I've been that frustration route before. Yeah, the light pollution filter that I have, by the way, would be equivalent of the luminance filter that Chris uses when he's doing RGB color pictures. So I have just removed the H alpha from the filter wheel. Yeah, the complications with using the filter wheel in the mono camera is that I have a focal reducer on the telescope there to give a wider field of view. And the spacing between the focal reducer and the oh, look at that. I'm getting into the trees. Doggone. Can you see my trees, Amal? Either that's trees or, yeah, that's a tree. And I think that's probably the maple tree. I'm going to bug out of here and run outside for a minute and see what tree that is actually pointing at. Well, no, it looks like it went through the branch. No, it's there. See the other branches coming. Yeah, I have trees to my southwest view, and so anytime I get over in that direction, I'm fighting trees, and especially the sun. I think right now the sun is probably getting down around, yeah, down around about 20 degrees in the horizon, so that's getting right into the trees. So although that's looking pretty good right now, there's a couple of different ones out there. One of them shorter than the others, and so let me. Yeah, it might have been clouds, but it looked to me more like the trees. You can see the branches and the trunk. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to be right back in just a minute. I'm going to stick my head out the door and see where we're looking to see whether that was trees or what. So I'll be back in just well, I don't know, probably take me a couple minutes. Amal, you were right. It was the clouds. I'll bet you if I had zoomed out a bit, I probably would have been able to tell better. I think I'm going to reframe this too. So we'll stop this recording and there we go. Yeah, yeah, all as always the clouds. So course, now I've been out in the bright sunlight. It's just killed my vision. So. Yeah, yeah, traditional Seattle. Yep, there's some more clouds. Let's go ahead and bring that back and see if I can see it better. Oh, yeah. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and go out. I'm going to leave this playing, and I'm going to go outside and swap the filter. Put the H alpha filter in, and you'll be able to see when I do that, because I have to take the camera off the telescope. So that'll take me probably about 5 minutes or so. Yep, I see the sun is gone, so let's see if we can bring it back. Yeah, yeah, there's no coming back. Never who got it. There we go. Whoops. What happened there? There we go. That's not so good. There we go. Looks like the auto exposure doesn't work so well with the the H alpha filter. Let's go ahead and get some more magnification on this here. They don't really look a whole lot different. I think they're a little more distinct. But remember, we were shooting at about 3 milliseconds before. Well, we're up to about 13 milliseconds now. What do you think, Amal? You think the other one was better? I don't know. I kind of think I liked it without this filter in there. What do you think? Yeah, I agree. The spots are crisper, but there's less of it. It's well, let's record some of this anyway. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Sammyairlines, whose motto is, we'll get you there unless we don't, I hate to do this, but have to do another shameless plug for our crop dusting service. We dust crops better than anybody else. You got crops, we'll take care of them. Corn, rice, uh, beans, doesn't matter. Our crop duster is the best in the business. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the reasons I quit watching TV is you watch 2 minutes of program and 15 minutes of advertisement. Oh, looks like we're getting some more clouds coming through. So let's go ahead and take this. It kind of looked a little better when it was, yeah. But with those bands like that, it's almost like Jupiter. Those clouds kind of give it a rotation view, but then the sunspots aren't moving. Yeah, there you go. Maybe they're in collusion. Oop, looks like you guys are going to receive buffering. I don't know what that means. This is not getting enough video streaming, probably because it's the same picture. So, oh, that one's nasty looking, isn't it, Amal? I'm going to run out and take a look at what the skies are doing. And no, that's clouds them all, and it's only going to get worse from here. So I think probably going to have to call it quits. Looks like maybe if it gets much worse, I'm going to have to put a tarp over the scope, and hopefully it'll clear up by tonight. Although it's still there. Uh, we can go ahead and I can keep streaming if you want, Amal. If you're enjoying what you're seeing. Alrighty, you go get some sunlight and coffee, and I think we're going to call it quits for the day here. And if the weather improves the next few days, we'll do it again and see if we can see any, if we can detect any movement in those sunspots. So once again, thank you for flying with Sammy International Airlines, and don't bother putting your trays up or your seat backs up. There's no FAA inspectors on this flight. And be sure to visit Sammy International Airlines at sammyairlines.net for all of your travel needs, because we'll get you there unless we don't. Thank you for watching, everyone.